It's time for At Home with the RubberDucks, powered by First Energy. 640 WHLO gets you closer to your hometown team with stories of the game and updates from the season ahead.
Line to left center, that's a base hit and a game winner for the Akron RubberDucks.
Akron RubberDucks baseball, affordable family fun.
High drive to right, that's well hit, back, that ball is gone, it's a home run.
Here's your hosts, Marco LaNave and Jim Clark.
Welcome into the final episode of the 2020 At Home with the RubberDucks season. Marco LaNave joined by Jim Clark. And even as baseball has been missing for so much of the spring and summer, we have been able to bring you some of these great interviews, conversations, looking back over the franchise history of the Akron Arrows and RubberDucks and even the Canton Akron Indians as well. And hopefully this has been a chance to give you a little bit of that baseball fix. And Jim, want to thank you for contributing to that as well.
It was fun. You know, we covered the organization in Double-A from the beginning to now in this season with beat writers, players, managers, organizational people. We've really gone top to bottom in covering this Indian Double-A franchise this summer, which is really, it's been a pretty good thing to do.
And this week it will continue as we talk with the top men in the RubberDucks organization, the owner, Ken Babby, the general manager, Jim Pfander, and we'll join you at the very end as well. So let's get into our first conversation. We're pleased to be joined by the owner and CEO of Fast Forward Sports Group and the Akron RubberDucks, Ken Babby. Ken, as we approach these late summer days, how are you doing?
Marco, it's great to be back with you. It's been one heck of a summer, I think, for all of us. On one hand, we're certainly have missed watching RubberDuck baseball this summer. Thankful since the last time we spoke to see Major League Baseball get back on the field has provided us a little entertainment and a chance to maybe escape from the realities of what's happening in this crazy world right now. But, our family is safe and happy and well, and I hope you are too.
And Ken, obviously the RubberDucks, for a couple of months now, it's been official that the season was canceled. But what positives or highlights have you found this year?
I think adversity in these situations brings out a real separation amongst leadership. You really see who's cut out for taking the mountain on some of these issues. Certainly, I've been quite open about it. This is the greatest hurdle that I've had to as a leader take on in my career. I remember vividly, managing and leading a media company through the 2008 financial crisis. But this is just quite notably different on multiple levels. One, in terms of time, but also because of human lives affected. And while we sit in a business that is completely focused on affordable family entertainment, small businesses on Main Street around the country are losing their ability to operate. They're losing their funding. They're losing their, employees most certainly, and losing their future. And it's heartbreaking to watch. And we know that, this crisis, as I think I mentioned on our very, very first interview months ago, it will come to an end, even when it doesn't feel like it. Every crisis does eventually reach a conclusion. And as we've said before, we look forward to that day very much.
And with all that has happened this year, really in so many ways, what does it mean to you to be a sports team owner in 2020?
Well, I think we'll be able to have better clarity of that looking back once we've made it through. I think we'll always remember, 2020 is a year that brought enormous adversity, as I mentioned. And that adversity, comes in different shapes and forms. There's certainly financial adversity. There's just emotional, I think, adversity of just waking up every day saying, how many more days of this? When can we go back to doing what we love? When can we go back to the ballpark? When can we take our families to the movies? When can we get on an airplane and travel somewhere and take a vacation as a family? These are questions that we don't know the answers to. And I would say that the hardest part, from my seat at least, and others, may feel differently, is the uncertainty. It is the notion that you don't know what tomorrow's going to bring. This event could make its way to conclusion, we hope, in the next few months with the presence of a vaccine, this could also continue well into 2021. And we just don't know the answers to those questions. And so, what I've tried to do and what our leadership team across the organization has tried to do is to prepare, to inform, to protect, to take care of our employees to the very best of our abilities. And also at the same time, balance that with this notion that we must continue to proceed and move forward on our mission. And our mission, continues to be delivering safe, family, affordable entertainment to our communities. And so even though we haven't been able to do that in the form of, our traditional core product, RubberDucks baseball, the senior spotlight games, the swing for the swag events, those kinds of programs, baseball camps, the police academy graduations, these are things that are a big part of what we do at Canal Park. And they all happened in 2020. And we'll always be able to look back and say, certainly they looked a little different. The protocols made it a little more challenging. There were moments where we all got frustrated, but we didn't just stay behind closed doors and lock up the place with a chain and say, see you in 21. We said, Akron, we're here for you in a different way this year. And I am incredibly proud of our staff and our leadership team for prevailing and delivering that during these times.
And you yourself got to be in Akron at the ballpark for those events as well. Was there a moment at all that almost approached normal, would you say?
The Hoban St. V senior spotlight game for me was the closest that I've felt, Marco, to any degree of normalcy this year. And it's always about the senses for me. So the smells, I smelled the ballpark, the sounds, I heard the crack of the bat, even though it was an aluminum bat versus a wooden bat, which, not quite the same. We certainly weren't able to touch and shake hands with fans the way that we like to during the season, but the ballpark felt alive on those nights. And you could see the fireworks, you could, smell the hot dogs, you could hear the crack of the bat. These are the things that we've just become, routine oriented in our life in terms of what we do, the cheer of the crowd. I will never again take that for granted. And by the way, we're in the small minority of 160 minor league teams that got a chance to do that this year. A lot of these teams have had to close their facilities and just sort of pack it up for the year. And on these senior spotlight games, we've been able to really create a special experience for those seniors that just didn't get a chance to play with their teams one last time this spring.
And Ken, again, you were on the ground in Akron and in Jacksonville throughout the summer, and you're so involved even beyond the ballpark in these communities. What has this year been like for those cities and just a couple of snapshots of this country?
Yeah, so one of the advantages I'll always have through this pandemic is that I've been able to see it through the lens of a few different communities. As you'll recall, when we talked initially at the beginning of the pandemic, we spent about 11 weeks straight in the DC area where that I'm from, and with my son and with my wife, and I think like all of us really started to get cooped up in our home. And, when I felt safe and when we were getting prepared to open the office in Akron for the first time, I hopped in the car and drove to Akron. That brought me back memories of when I came to Akron by driving there the very, very first time for me in 2012 when we were thinking about buying the team. And so doing that drive was quite symbolic for me, coming out of the apartment for the first time and getting started in doing that. And then later visiting our Jacksonville club, I've been fortunate to see and change scenery a little bit throughout the summer. What I would say, Marco, is that in every community that we're in, there's a different degree of people's approach and reaction and, quite frankly, level of responsibility to how they're handling the virus. There are some that are scared, and that's okay. And fear from the earliest days of this pandemic was something that we said in our family and in our company we would never make people feel badly for. We have friends and family that for various reasons, medical and others, have just decided they're going to stay put at home, maybe take that afternoon walk. They're not interested in gathering with others. They're going to sort of stay in, and that's okay. And then there were others that we saw throughout the process that had just had enough of it and decided they were going to hit the beaches and live their life and weren't in favor of following safe protocols. And unfortunately, we saw case numbers start to rise throughout the summer as a result of some of those decisions. Where I am today and how I feel about it is the numbers that I'm watching are actually the infection rates. Not so much the number of cases. As we look and improve the testing in our country and in our community, which, by the way, took way too long, my general sense is that the percentage of those testing positive continues to be the metric that I watch as we wait ultimately for an end to this, which I think will require a vaccine. And it's my perspective. It's certainly not that of everybody's, but that we're going to have to live alongside this virus safely for a little while longer. And that requires wearing a mask. It's important. It clearly seems to be working. And following safe protocols in our workplace, which are, an important part of living with the virus. The virus has not gone away, but we can certainly do some smart things to continue to live our lives, come to work, and have a little bit more of normalcy until we get to a place where the vaccine is here and we can move forward. So again, those are just my personal opinions. They certainly don't reflect everybody at our company, but what we have tried to do is, and I think successfully done, is deliver great, safe, affordable family fun by putting the safety of our employees and our fans first and foremost.
That was RubberDucks owner Ken Babby, and this portion of At Home with the RubberDucks was brought to you in part by Ambridge Hospitality, Fairfield Inn and Suites, and the Courtyard by Marriott, Akron Fairlawn, all partners presenting RubberDucks baseball. Stay tuned for more with Ken Babby right after this.
You're listening to At Home with the RubberDucks on 640 WHLO, your new home for Akron RubberDucks baseball, powered by First Energy.
Here at Sarah Auto Park, community service has always been a priority of ours. These days, that spirit is more important than ever. Join us as we do everything we can to take care of our doctors, nurses, all other essential businesses, and their employees. If our community needs us for anything, even to safely get a bag of groceries to our most vulnerable, we're here. We'll get through this together. Sarah Auto Park.
This is RubberDucks broadcaster Marco LaNave. When people ask me who's the #1 pick for print and copy solutions in the Akron area, I tell them Meritech, the pride of the RubberDucks for the past 9 years. Meritech's roster also includes IT consulting, cloud voice and data services for a powerhouse lineup to reduce risk, control costs, and increase productivity. So call Team Meritech today and tell them the RubberDucks sent you. Meritech Technology to empower your business.
Exceptional care means having access to world-class physicians and services. That's the care Cleveland Clinic Akron General provides to Akron and the surrounding communities. Whether it's primary care or specialized services, we put your needs first with care that is comprehensive and, best of all, close to home. Cleveland Clinic Akron General is committed to the community and your health. To learn more about our services close to you, visit akrongeneral.org.
KeyBank makes it easy to manage your money anytime, anywhere.
I am crushed for time.
KeyBank can help.
How? And how soon?
You have a smartphone?
I have to. It keeps me organized.
Download the KeyBank mobile app and then use your phone to deposit checks on the go, transfer money, even pay bills automatically.
Awesome.
Indeed. Learn how you can make even more financial progress when you use the Red Key, only at KeyBank. Visit key.com or your local branch. Member FDIC.
Are you looking for a great apartment with the best location? Fir Hill Towers Apartments is just a 5-minute walk to the University of Akron or a 5-minute drive downtown. You'll find spacious living, convenience, and fun with a wide variety of restaurants and entertainment just outside your door. Perfectly suited for young professionals and students on the go looking for off-campus living. Stop by 55 First Street Hill, Akron, or call 330-762-7000. That's 330-762-7000 today and reserve your apartment home.
For a lawn that looks as good as Canal Park, depend on Grassmaster. They're a locally owned and operated full-service lawn and landscape company. The development of a healthy and attractive lawn or landscape requires a great deal of time and hard work. It's Grassmaster's commitment to providing the necessary ingredients of knowledge and treatment materials to develop a healthy and attractive lawn or landscape. By choosing Grassmaster as your lawn and landscape company, you are assuring that your investment is protected and will grow in value year after year. Visit thegrassmaster.com.
Everyone at Honda wants you to be safe. And right now, you need a car you can count on and your dealer to go the extra mile. So if your Honda needs parts or service, we're right here ready to help. working to follow all government guidelines in order to get you what you need and help you stay safe with a reliable car that's ready to go when you need it.
Visit NorthernOhioHondaDealers.com.
Your business has a story to tell. Let Fast Signs Medina help you using the right mix of visual communication solutions like signs, banners, digital displays, fleet graphics, mobile marketing, health and safety communications, and so much more. Give Fast Signs Medina your business challenge and we'll come up with a plan to grow your business, reach more customers, and accomplish more than you ever thought possible. Fast Signs Medina. More than fast, more than signs, more than ready to help you grow your business. Call today and say Go Ducks for your discount.
This is At Home with the RubberDucks on 640 WHLO.
Deep drive out to right field. Rafaela turning, watching. It's gone to the Bud Light line. Tiki Terrace.
Your new home for RubberDucks baseball, powered by First Energy.
Welcome back. This is Marco LaNave. And this portion of At Home with the RubberDucks is brought to you in part by Precious Cargo Trailways and Hudson's Restaurant, both on the team of partners presenting RubberDucks baseball. We now continue the conversation with RubberDucks owner and CEO Ken Babby. And Ken, I know you're a sports fan too. As sports have come back, what are you following or watching?
Everything. So in our household at this point, now that basketball is back, hockey is back, baseball, as I mentioned, is back. There are not enough TVs in the Babby residence right now because we missed it. And I think we all missed live sports, and certainly not the same without seeing fans in these ballparks. But as you know, baseball is my dear love, and Baltimore Orioles, being only 4 games out, by the way, at the end of August, as we record this, not a normal occurrence. And so I'm enjoying watching, live sports again. We're in the NBA playoffs. That's been a lot of fun. And it's just nice to see sports return in the fall. I think we'll hopefully continue to, bring more of that, provided that the protocols continue to be followed.
We're also seeing on a nationwide scale sports having a social impact and learning how that happens. You've talked for a long time about the sports team being part of its community. What does that mean in light of what's happened this year?
Yeah, it's a great question, and it's one that I think we're all trying to become more acutely aware of what we can do. It'd be very easy for me to sit here and say, we've always been inclusive. We always have done the right things, because I truly believe in my heart that we have. But I think I can also say that we haven't done enough. And I say that with conviction and to some degree an element of embarrassment that we, not just as the Akron RubberDucks, but as a community and as a society as a whole, haven't asked the tough questions, haven't brought the important issues to the table, and haven't engaged in a conversation as a nation about equality. And certainly, we as a baseball team in Akron, Ohio, play 9 innings of baseball, or we will in 2021, and represent the city. But I always have said, it's important that we represent the city that we serve. If we look ourselves in the mirror and look at Akron, Ohio, how can we, as an organization, take on more of a leadership role in being inclusive, welcoming in every respect? And so we have great work ahead of us as a country. We have great work ahead of us as a community. And I embrace the fact that we are more than just a baseball team. We're an organization that literally walk around town with something that says Akron on it. And so we must represent that city, and we must represent that community. And I think it is our duty and responsibility to raise these questions. And so I certainly don't have all the answers, Marco, but I can tell you that you won't meet somebody that's more committed towards trying to raise the issues and have conversation about it.
Well, we appreciate your investment in the communities of Akron and Jacksonville, where you're so deeply involved. For folks here in Akron thinking, we didn't get minor league baseball this season, what can you tell them about what this off season and 2021 are going to be like, and what you're focused on?
It's strange because normally this time of year, as we sort of approach the end of the baseball season, admittedly, and I can say this because I know you know the feeling too, I think we all like a bit of a breather. We like to take you're probably getting pretty, worn down from being on the bus, driving from city to city, and sleeping in the hotel rooms. We're in a very different place this year, and that I think we're all emotionally exhausted. I know I certainly am. I think we all are looking forward to turning the clock ahead to 2021, but that uncertainty that I mentioned earlier in our conversation still is alive and well. And so there's a lot of things we don't know about next year, next baseball season. But what we do know is that Akron RubberDuck baseball will be back in 2021. I'm very, very confident of that. What it looks like, how many fans, the impact of the protocols, still all to be determined. And we'll watch the fall. We'll watch how the NFL and Major League Baseball and others, and then the NBA ultimately in the fall and winter, continue to tackle some of these questions. But I will say to you this, that there is no organization more committed towards putting safety first and bringing safe, great, affordable family entertainment in the form of baseball back in 2021. So we'll take our deep breath, we'll exhale, and the planning for 2021 will be pretty much rapid as we approach the fall.
Do you have a sense that moving forward, this industry and sports as an industry will be different and maybe even positively so because of opportunities that have come from this?
Well, I think we'll all, through our own form of self-reflection, I think, recognize perhaps what we've taken for granted for so many years. I never thought much of it to just, grab my 12-year-old son and my wife and say, let's head to the ballpark and all be together with our community and root for our team. And that was taken away from us. And so you don't sometimes realize until it's taken from you how special it is to gather. And sports in general, not just baseball, Marco, but sports in general have an incredibly unique way of bringing community together towards some common purpose, whether it be entertainment or winning the game, or live concerts for a shared music experience, something that I really enjoy that we didn't get a chance to do this summer. So those things were all taken from us. And so I think to some degree, there is some pent-up demand. People are anxious to get back out again when it's safe to do so. But I also think people will say, boy, we should never take for granted the idea of going to a musical at the theater together, or being with your family on a Sunday afternoon on Father's Day at the ballpark, because you realize how precious those moments are. A year of our lives was taken away from us. We certainly learned a lot during that period of time. So I think to that degree, I think there will be a change. Do I think, and there's some that feel like live sports will change forever. We won't gather in an arena anymore. We won't cheer for our favorite teams and maybe, not be able to yell or scream as loud. I don't believe that. I believe sports, and baseball in particular, has always bounced back from adversity. We've talked about that before, from terrorist attacks, from pandemics, from wars. And I am so certain that once it is safe to do so, ballparks, arenas, and stadiums, concert venues, etc., theaters will be back, because people just love being together and enjoying those shared experiences.
Well, Ken, we really appreciate you sharing some time and thoughts with us. And thank you for your leadership of the Akron RubberDucks organization and your commitment to this community as well. So thanks so much.
Marco, I want to thank you for doing this wonderful at-home program all summer long. You've been able to pull people together, have great, insightful interviews. I've enjoyed the program with my family, and you've added some great content at a time where I think our fans and partners and the community really needed it most. So cheers to you for your hard work on this, and for our listeners. We can't wait to see you back at the ballpark in spring of 2021.
That was RubberDucks owner and CEO Ken Babby. And this portion of At Home with the RubberDucks was brought to you in part by Gardner Pie Company and Stanley Steamer, both in the lineup presenting RubberDucks baseball. Coming up after the break, we'll visit with RubberDucks General Manager Jim Pfander. That comes your way right after this.
You're listening to At Home with the RubberDucks on 640 WHLO, your new home for Akron RubberDucks baseball, powered by First Energy. This is At Home with the RubberDucks on 640 WHLO.
Ruda going back. It's over his head. It's over the wall. The first Double-A home run for Oscar Gonzalez.
Your new home for RubberDucks baseball, powered by First Energy.
Welcome back. This is Marco LaNave, and this portion of At Home with the RubberDucks is brought to you in part by Suma Health and Melt Bar and Grilled, both in our lineup presenting RubberDucks baseball. And on this portion of At Home with the RubberDucks, we're pleased to be joined by the general manager and COO of the Akron RubberDucks, the president of Fast Forward Sports Group, Jim Pfander. And Jim, thanks so much for joining us. First of all, how are you doing?
I'm great. Thanks for having me on. This has been such a great opportunity for our fans to learn about what's going on inside the walls of the RubberDucks offices while we're not playing games. And I just want to thank you for, along with Jim Clark, putting this together each and every week and keeping our fans informed.
Well, thank you very much, Jim. And gosh, this has been quite a unique year. Do you feel like you have learned anything from this year?
Yeah, I've learned how much I miss baseball. No, I think we do. I think we learn a lot when you have situations like this. And I think you look back throughout history, and I think a lot of people have learned during pandemics where there's ways you can reinvent yourself and there's ways that you can figure out how to do things better. And I think you just look around at technology alone, where Zoom calls and here we are in the 21st century, but now we have the ability to keep people connected, whether they're on the road. I would imagine somebody like yourself who spends a lot of the season on the road at other Eastern League destinations, you're going to be a lot more well connected as well as we're, figuring how to better use technology to improve our day-to-day aspects of our lives. But I think that's been pretty much the key. And then I think really reconnecting with what's most important in life and really giving yourself a chance to say, hey, this might be something that I'm doing that I could do better, or I could do, or spend more time with folks that mean most in our lives. So I think during this entire pandemic, I think we've been able to learn how to get not only better from a technology standpoint, but maybe how to best reconnect with folks and not use technology as a hindrance to great communication.
We're airing this on what would be the final weekend of the minor league baseball regular season. This year, quite different. Where are things at for the staff, and what's sort of the update on what's happening right now for the front office?
Yeah, so, it's funny, as you mentioned, Labor Day is always kind of the unofficial end of summer. It's the end of the regular season on typical years for a minor league baseball team. So really, this is a kind of a time of year where things are starting to wrap up, and you're looking forward to a little bit of time away from the ballpark, and you're also looking forward to looking into the 2021 season. We've been waiting for the 2021 season to get here, I guess, since June 30th, when they announced that the 2020 season would be canceled. So really for us, I mean, it's just getting ready, starting to kind of work our plan. And it's kind of symbolic for us that now that we know that the season is officially done with, now we're ready to move on, turn the page, and get ready for 2021. But specifically at the ballpark, we're continuing to program the ballpark with different events, whether it's travel baseball events that are taking place or ballpark rentals. We've got the ballpark pretty much programmed until the middle of October. And then at that point, we'll winterize the park. We'll get ready for 2021 and get into the off season, and then, hopefully have a schedule at that point and get started for really the 2021 Akron RubberDucks season.
How will this off season be similar or different from a normal one?
Well, I think the similarities of this offseason are going to be, it's really that time of year where, the weather gets colder. You really start focusing on planning and getting ready for the year. But, without having a baseball season, I would say that from a staffing standpoint, I think we've been just as busy, if not busier, with events pretty much all the time between, the time we were able to get back into the office the 1st of June, all the way up through the middle of October. So I think from that standpoint, there will be a feeling, a transition feeling. But then there's also some normalcy of, getting back to that kind of the run-of-the-mill, this is what the offseason is going to look like. Now, our hallmark events during the offseason, the baseball winter meetings, of course, and the different various league meetings, those are all going to look probably a little bit different than they have in the past. But I think there is some normalcy. There is some kind of transition time as we kind of say goodbye to 2020 and say hello to 2021, and then all of the normal planning and budgeting and the normal part of our routine that we have. I think there will be kind of a return to normalcy.
Speaking of that return to normal, professional sports has started just a little over a month ago. What are you watching and following in these late summer days?
without sports, as long as we were without sports, it's funny how much that we missed it. And I've been absorbing just about every type of baseball that there possibly can be. I mean, forget having to get up at 4 o'clock in the morning to watch Korean baseball anymore. Now we're able to watch baseball. And I've watched more baseball than I think I have maybe since I was in college. I mean, it's been great to watch games on all the time. And, we're recording this on the baseball trading deadline. And so that brings its own excitement. Normally it's at the end of July. This year it's at the end of August. And I think there's just so much to be excited about. Typically the baseball season's a marathon. It's 162 games. And, to have a 60-game season and to have everything mean so much and every win means so much, it's almost like you're playing playoff baseball for a very condensed time being. And I think it's been fun. I've enjoyed it. I know, our staff has enjoyed it as well. And really kind of watching the big league club have success, watching guys like Tristan McKenzie, who the last time he pitched was for the RubberDucks before a couple of starts ago when he made his major league debut, and seeing guys have success like Aaron Savali. It's been fun to see these guys have a lot of success and are contributing to the playoff run that the Indians are under right now. And we have our fingers crossed and toes crossed and hope everything goes well during this last month of the season and see if the Indians can get into the playoffs and make a little noise.
Well, also this summer, there have been a lot of sports teams and athletes making statements and various actions on social issues. How are the RubberDucks playing a role or committing to do so in that respect?
Well, I think we've also seen during this pandemic that, life is bigger than sports, and life is bigger than minor league baseball, major league baseball, or even any of the other professional sports. And what we're seeing with athletes is they're using that sports as their medium to be able to have their voices heard, and maybe they're able to connect with some folks that maybe wouldn't normally be connected with, to really talk about life and talk about what's going on and the injustices that are going on in the world. So, I really tip my hat to everybody who is using their platforms to be able to elicit change. And it's time for change, and the status quo is no longer acceptable. So I think we've been doing the best we can, like everybody, to make sure that we really take a look internally first and see how we can get better and how we can make things better, and then use our influences on the outside. And I think we've done a pretty good job of that over the last few weeks and months, as it's really given us a chance to figure out what's most important. And I think we're doing a good job, but we still have a long way to go.
That was RubberDucks General Manager Jim Pfander. And this portion of At Home with the RubberDucks was brought to you in part by Diamond Deli and Habitat for Humanity of Summit County, both on the team of partners presenting RubberDucks Baseball. More with Jim Pfander right after this.
You're listening to At Home with the RubberDucks on 640 WHLO, your new home for Akron RubberDucks baseball, powered by First Energy.
Are you looking for a great apartment with the best location? Fir Hill Towers Apartments is just a 5-minute walk to the University of Akron or a 5-minute drive downtown. You'll find spacious living, convenience, and fun with a wide variety of restaurants and entertainment just outside your door. Perfectly suited for young professionals and students on the go looking for off-campus living. Stop by 55 First Street Hill, Akron, or call 330-762-7000. That's 330-762-7000 today and reserve your apartment home.
There aren't many things in life that are easy. There's easy listening music, easy chairs, easy money. But did you know that you can enjoy all three while getting rid of your old energy-wasting refrigerator? You can schedule a pickup without moving from your easy chair. We'll haul it away and even pay you for it. So go ahead, take it easy, and let us take it from here. First Energy's Ohio Utilities will pick up your fridge, and you'll get $50. Just visit EnergySaveOhio.com to schedule a pickup. Now that's easy.
What's better than a good steak? A great steak at a great value in a fun place. Texas Roadhouse. From fall off the bone ribs to made from scratch sides, we've got something for everybody. Great steak at a great value. Texas Roadhouse. Located at 4310 Lake Point Corporate Drive in Stowe, and now offering drive-through, carry-out, and curbside service. Visit TexasRoadhouse.AlohaOrderOnline.com or call 330-920-9844.
Bridgestone Drive Guard tires deliver a clutch performance that won't leave you stranded on the side of a rural road or a busy highway. They're engineered to take a puncture and to keep running up to 50 miles after a flat at 50 miles an hour. Plus, you'll get the smooth, quiet ride and impressive tread wear life you've come to expect from Bridgestone tires. Let the clutch performance of Bridgestone Drive Guard tires give you peace of mind. Bridgestone, proud sponsor of the Akron RubberDucks.
Here at Sarah Auto Park, community service has always been a priority of ours. These days, that spirit is more important than ever. Join us as we do everything we can to take care of our doctors, nurses, all other essential businesses, and their employees. If our community needs us for anything, even to safely get a bag of groceries to our most vulnerable, we're here. We'll get through this together. Sarah Auto Park.
No savvy traveler likes long lines or waiting around. So, lucky for you, the Akron-Canton Airport is easy and fast. With affordable on-site parking, quick check-in, and short security lines, you'll be through the airport in just minutes. CAK gives you more freedom to enjoy the things you love, like vacationing. With low fares to 11 nonstop destinations and just one stop to the world, book your next adventure from CAK.
RubberDucks fans, check out City Barbecue in Fairlawn for the best barbecue in town.
I gotta tell you, City Barbecue is the best smoked meats I've ever experienced in my life.
Literally the best beef brisket sandwich I've ever had.
Definitely the best barbecue I've ever had.
My best all-around barbecue experience ever.
Best barbecue around.
Some of the best barbecue I've personally tasted.
I highly recommend this spot for some of the best BBQ you'll ever have.
Visit citybarbecue.com or stop by 2870 West Market Street in Fairlawn.
Everyone at Honda wants you to be safe. And right now, you need a car you can count on and your dealer to go the extra mile. So if your Honda needs parts or service, we're right here ready to help. Working to follow all government guidelines in order to get you what you need and help you stay safe with a reliable car that's ready to go when you need it.
Visit NorthernOhioHondaDealers.com.
This is At Home with the RubberDucks on 640 WHLO.
Deep drive out to right field. Rafaela turning, watching. It's gone to the Bud Light line. Tiki Terrace.
Your new home for RubberDucks baseball, powered by First Energy.
Welcome back. This is Marco LaNave, and this portion of At Home with the RubberDucks was brought to you in part by Visit Jacksonville and Chick-fil-A, both in the lineup presenting RubberDucks baseball. We now continue with RubberDucks General Manager Jim Pfander. Well, taking a moment to look back over those weeks and months, is there a moment or highlight to your summer of 2020 at the ballpark?
Boy, that's a great question. I think probably the highlight for me is really the senior spotlight games that we were able to pull off, and giving these kids, seniors had graduated from high school, giving them a chance for some teams to be able to finish their career with their baseball team, whether it's the Hogan St. V annual game that we had, or whether it's a situation like Firestone High School that wasn't able to play until kind of our last senior spotlight game, where graduated seniors at that point were playing against alumni. But either way, they had a chance to have senior night. And in baseball, you don't normally get, football, it's at halftime and parents get to walk the kids across the football gridiron, or in basketball, it's always a highlight for those parents. But in baseball, usually, in the spring, everybody's just sprinting towards graduation, and baseball is usually an afterthought. And we were able to give these kids an amazing experience with their parents on the field, and they got recognized in front of their communities, in front of their fellow baseball players. And to me, I thought that was really special. It put a smile on my face, and I know the rest of our staff was definitely impacted by that as well. It was really cool to be able to give each of these seniors and their families and their parents and their classmates a chance to really salute them and give them the proper send-off that they didn't have because of the pandemic. So I think that was the highlight for me.
Well, I would echo that as well, seeing that baseball and knowing the special moment that was for so many people. I want to go from there to kind of the next step that I'm sure a lot of fans are wondering about at this point. When will we see the next RubberDucks game at Canal Park? We know at this point, at the end of August, we're still waiting on a schedule too.
Yeah, I think all systems are pointing towards April and opening day. The next step is to get a schedule, and then I guess let me back up from there. the professional baseball agreement between minor league baseball and Major League Baseball will expire at the end of the month of September. So it would be September 30th. When that happens, either the deal is expired or the deal is renewed, and there's negotiations that are going on. And of course, this is way above my pay grade to try and figure out kind of what's going on. But once we have some clarity and once we have a new deal in place and what that looks like, whether it's a straight renewal of the professional baseball agreement or whether it's a new world, and in reading in the papers and reading online, there's a lot of different thoughts out there what that might look like. But rest assured, RubberDucks fans, we're going to be the Indians AA affiliate. We're going to be in that same spot that we've always been. The travel may look different. We may be playing teams like the Erie Seawolves and the Altoona Curve a heck of a lot more than we play the Portland Sea Dogs year over year. But it's going to be sensible travel. It's going to be sensible arrangements with the teams. And I think we'll find out probably sooner than later. Once that deal's in place, we'll be allowed to have a schedule made. I know in the Eastern League, we've been trying to put together different copies of the schedule and trying to work ahead. And then that way, once we have an idea of what the season's going to look like, maybe there's some tweaks, maybe they adjust a road trip here or a home series there, but we'll have kind of the framework in place to be able to put a schedule together. But really, that's the next hurdle. So once we have an agreement, what the 2021 and beyond is going to look like, then we have a schedule. Once we have a schedule, it's off season like normal, and we start planning out RubberDucks home games, planning up dates, and planning company outings that we do during the year. And so we look forward to April of 2021 and getting ready to play baseball again.
Speaking of things might look like in 2021, because of everything that's happened, both at baseball and of course, globally in 2020, how might 2021 and beyond be different than what it was before 2020 in respect to the ballpark and baseball?
I think we've seen that things look a lot differently. I mean, going to the grocery store is a heck of a lot different experience than it has been 3-4 months ago, right? So I think you're going to see that as well. We've done events at the ballpark that are safe, socially distanced. We have all the protocols in place, teaming up with the Summit County Department of Health, with the local government officials, the mayor's office here in Akron, the governor's office of the state of Ohio. And I think we've done everything that we can do to make sure that our fans have a safe and enjoyable experience when they come to the ballpark. So rest assured that April, or when we're given the go-ahead to start the baseball season, we will make sure that we have everything down to a T to keep people safe and have that great RubberDuck experience that we've known to love over the years. So that's how I could best foresee what 2021 is going to look like, and especially when it comes time for RubberDucks opening day. So, in the meantime, we keep our fingers crossed that vaccines are out there on the horizon and we're able to get back to, I guess, a more normal life than what we've experienced during this pandemic.
We know that folks also look forward to the promotions at Canal Park. Maybe some folks saw the promotional schedule that was on tap this year. Are those giveaways and other things still going to happen?
You know what? We've got more giveaways in the bowels of Canal Park than I think we've ever had. We've got the storage areas are full. They're ready for next year. I think from a giveaway standpoint, Marco, we're going to have a very similar giveaway schedule. I don't really foresee us having new giveaways. However, theme nights, promotions, those may change based on what was released this year. We always try to stay current. We always try to keep things up to date. So I don't think you're going to see a carbon copy of what was released for 2020 that didn't happen. But I think you're going to see a lot of similar promotions. You're going to see the giveaways that we had scheduled for 2020. You'll see those in 2021. And maybe you'll see a couple of new theme nights. But, I think we've got a great lineup, and really hats off to Kyle Hicksonbaugh and really the entire staff for the RubberDucks of putting together a great schedule. I mean, look, not many people have 2 years to get a promotional schedule right. And so Scott Riley and Kyle Hicksonbaugh got a lot on their plate to make sure we've got a great season next year. But we will, and we'll be ready. I'll tell you what, it's going to be a lot of fun when the gates do open in April and fans will be able to experience RubberDucks baseball that they've missed. We've missed it. I mean, everybody has missed coming out of the ballpark, grabbing your hot dog, grabbing your beer, grabbing your soda, just really having a great time. And we can't wait for that to happen. And when it does, I think people are going to be really, really excited.
Well, normally you'd be, saying goodbye or see you next spring to folks at the ballpark, at Canal Park. But for those who haven't made it out this summer, what do you want to say to them as we go into the fall and winter here, looking toward another baseball season?
I'd say hang in there, and we can't wait to see you. Like I said, we've just been chomping at the bit, waiting to be able to have RubberDucks baseball come back. And so it's been a long time since Labor Day of 2019, since the last time we played baseball here at Canal Park. And we can't wait. I know our staff's working hard for getting us ready, and not only safely and socially distanced, but also, just bringing that energy back. And so I would just say, hang in there. We got to get through the winter. And once we do, and once we get into next spring, we are going to be ready to give you a great show at Canal Park. So I hope you're as excited as I am about coming back to the stadium and enjoying some special time with the folks that mean most in your life, where you can relax, rewind, and really enjoy a great experience in downtown Akron. And that's really what it's all about. So we're excited about it. We can't wait for you guys to come back to the stadium. And until that time happens, enjoy, and fingers crossed for a great run by the Cleveland Indians in this the final games of the regular season, and hopefully some playoff baseball for all of our fans in Northeast Ohio.
Well, the thought of all that is very encouraging, Jim, and thanks so much for sharing some time with us on At Home with the RubberDucks today and throughout the season as it's been as well. Thank you.
Absolutely. And Marco, thank you so much. And along with Jim Clark and all the guests that you've had on, it's really kind of helped us scratch that itch as we've been able to think about baseball. We've been able to, really enjoy virtually kind of that RubberDucks experience without being able to come to the ballpark. And we can't wait to change that in April of 2021.
That is RubberDucks General Manager and COO and the President of Fast Forward Sports Group, Jim Pfander. And a thank you to Jim Pfander as well as Ken Babby for joining us in this finale of At Home with the RubberDucks in 2020. And I'm Marco LaNave, again joined by Jim Clark. And Jim, we sum up the 2020 minor league season that really wasn't, but hopefully everybody got a glimpse into what's happening with the RubberDucks, and hopefully are looking forward to 2021 as well.
Well, I certainly am. I know it's been very tough on Jim and Ken. It's the fabric of their lives, and they've gone through this very well. They've brought things to both cities, keeping everybody involved, but we all want to get back to just playing baseball, enjoying Canal Park. Hey, how about some family fun in April of 2021?
Jim, want to thank you for joining me throughout the spring and summer. Partner, I am really looking forward to next spring.
I am too. Great job all summer long putting these together. It takes longer than people think to put these shows together, and you did a great job. And, of course, thanks especially to our new home, 640 WHLO.
Well, for Jim Clark, I'm Marco LaNave. Thank you all for listening, and everybody stay safe and healthy. And we'll talk to you in 2021.
Thanks for listening to At Home with the RubberDucks. To listen to previous shows or for more RubberDucks baseball, follow the Akron RubberDucks podcast on the iHeartRadio app. For the latest on the team, go to AkronRubberDucks.com and follow the Akron RubberDucks on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Akron RubberDucks Baseball. Affordable family fun.